Hello, everyone. This is Linda Jo Heffner, and I'm here joined today by John Wells, retired Navy commander, and also the acting chairperson, the chairperson, acting executive director of the Military Veterans Advocacy Association. And I'm so pleased and honored to have you here today, John, with me. And I'm hoping that people can learn and get educated about your organization and all the good work that you do. From my personal experience, folks, these people have been wonderful to me. I'm a military widow, a Navy widow, and I want to tell you, I didn't put a penny out for any of the wonderful advice I got from them. So, John, tell me a little bit about when you joined the Navy. What years?
Sure. First of all, Linda, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
I joined the Naval Reserve in 1972, went on active duty in 1973, and stayed on until August of 1994, and I retired as a commander. I had gone to law school at night. I was a surface warfare guy in the Navy, but once I got out, I started practicing law with an emphasis on military and veterans law.
Good job. And what was your favorite part of the Navy?
Well, it's got to be meeting my wife down in Perth, Australia. We pulled into Perth on a port call for a Western Pacific tour, and she and I met. And I guess she didn't know too much about me because eventually she wound up marrying me.
And how many years?
37 now.
Wow, that's tremendous. So now, as the chairman of this organization, this association, tell us a bit about that so we know exactly what you do to help our veterans.
Sure. Well, it all started with a Navy wife, which, as you can attest, is the toughest job in the Navy. Her name was Susie Bellinger, and she lives in upstate New York. Her husband had been on a carrier off the coast of Vietnam, had put in for his veterans benefits due to Agent Orange exposure, and was shot down. And, they said he had to have boots on the ground. Well, eventually, she proved that he did have boots on the ground because he flew into Da Nang Airport before he was sent out to the ship. But she said, this isn't right. There's tens of thousands of folks that were exposed to Agent Orange, and they need to get their benefits too. So she started a group called Blue Water Navy Association. And, I ran across her in a chat room somewhere, I forget exactly how. And I made probably a mistake of saying, hey, Susie, I was an engineer on some of these Navy ships. Can I help you at all? If I can, just let me know. So I get this call and said, well, look, you're an attorney. Do you go up to Washington? I said, yeah, I go up there once in a while. I got some clients there. Well, could you spend a little time on the Hill? I said, yeah, I can do that. My court's usually over in the morning, so I got the afternoons free. I'll do that. And it was like, what about one more day? Could you mind spending another day? And I said, well, okay, sure, that's fine. And then it was like, what about the rest of the week? I said, Susie, you're pushing the friendship, but okay, for you. And things were fine. And then I get this phone call. We got 35 appointments set up for you next month in DC. I said, Susie, I'm not going to DC next month. You already know. 2012.
So she's a tough lady to say no to.
Oh, she's a tough lady. You can't.
Yeah. I met her. She's marvelous.
We formed Military Veterans Advocacy in 2012, kind of in self-defense, because at the time we were financing this all out of my checkbook, and this gave me an opportunity to at least claim a tax deduction for it. And we did. And this is a 501c3 organization. We're growing. We added a full-time board, all volunteers, in 2016, 2017, around there. And then in 2020, we became a membership organization. And, it's open to anybody to join. We just keep on growing. We have a motto of litigation, legislation, and education. What does that mean? We go beat up Congress to try to get bills through. And currently, there's over 200 veterans bills been introduced in this Congress. We're supporting, I think it's 178 of them. We will sue the service secretaries, or my personal favorite, Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Almost slipped and said Secretary of Veterans Abuse. My wife told me I'm not allowed to say that anymore. But we will sue them. And in fact, I told previous secretary, Robert Wilkie, ran into him one time, told him he was my favorite defendant. He chuckled, a little strange chuckle, but he chuckled, and we do that. We also submit rulemaking requests, asking the VA to submit rules on or issue rules on different things. And if they don't issue them, we sue them. We have 2 cases pending right now. On December 9th, we have oral arguments at the Court of Appeal for the Federal Circuit to cover herbicide exposure on Guam, American Samoa, Johnson Island, Thailand, and also the airspace over Vietnam. And we're trying to expand the Blue Water Navy line out to the entire theater of combat. Currently, it only covers the territorial sea. We educate by holding seminars such as the Tampa seminar, where I met you. We also do continuing legal education on veterans law for veterans attorneys, or for attorneys that want to practice veterans law, because veterans law is different than any other kind of law you ever wanted to practice. And that keeps us busy. We're growing. We do have 1 paid employee now, and she's wonderful. She does all the work so we can take the credit. And, it may expand a little bit, but primarily we're still a volunteer organization, and we're going to continue to litigate, legislate, and educate on behalf of the veterans.
I interacted with these people quite by accident and went to the Tampa meeting, which featured Blue Water Navy at that time. And at that point, I was on a 50+ year quest to find out why my sailor, Bud, died. He died of a glioblastoma. And at his age, which when it was discovered, he was 29, he had less than a 0.5% of having this particular kind of cancer. And folks, that's like going out on the beach and picking up 1 grain of sand. He shouldn't have had this. And it was always a mystery that haunted me. And then I thought I was alone in the world. But then I went to Tampa, and Commander Wells, Brian Moyer, and Susie Bellinger, and I remember Frank vaguely. But they were wonderful to me. I felt like I belonged, and I was in shock when I found out. No way did I ever, in my wildest dreams, think that my husband was exposed to Agent Orange. No way. My husband was on a ship. They told us. They said, your husband's safe. He's not boots on the ground. Well, little did I know, and after my research, my husband was exposed. He ate, drank, slept, showered, cleaned the deck, did everything. And at that time, he was enlisted, so he was probably doing all of that. So I'm very grateful for that. It was a shocking result. And as an Agent Orange family, I have children all with symptoms. And for their privacy, I'm not going to tell you, but we are going to be affected by Agent Orange in my family for the next 8 to 10 generations, according to my research. So it's never over for me. It's not over for me. And I'm not the only person in the world. I am one of thousands and thousands of veterans and family that served in the Vietnam War willingly. My husband enlisted. He signed a blank check with his life, and unfortunately, his check was cashed. So, Commander Wells, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. But the Agent Orange is just a start, as well as doing the ones we have the court cases on. We have herbicide use in Panama, believe it or not, and Okinawa. We're working on other issues such as Camp Lejeune water. We're supporting a bill or an effort to get some legislation on Fort McClellan and other places throughout the country and really throughout the world. But, we continue to do it to ourselves. We had radiation cleanups on places like Intihuatana and Palmera, Spain, that are not covered, and burn pits, the Agent Orange of the 21st century, where we dug a great big hole in the ground, threw everything in the world in it, dumped diesel fuel on it, and set it off in flames. And of course, the troops were birthed downwind of it. And I remember having breakfast about 3 years ago with a lady, late 20s, who had to carry the little cart with 2 oxygen bottles and the thing that went into her nose. And she said, look, if I don't have this, I die. And it's just unbelievable we do this. We do it to ourselves. North Vietnamese never sprayed a drop of Agent Orange. Yeah. As far as I know, Taliban never dug a burn pit. So what we need to do is, when we do something like this, we need to stand up, take responsibility, and take care of these folks, and we don't. The Congress is very slow. They run into issues of cost and so on and so forth. Well, hey, we've passed some $1 trillion bills, this Congress. There's a comprehensive bill called the Cost of War Act in the Senate by Senator John Tester of Montana, and a comparable bill by Mark Takano in the House. And both of them would be a great first start on covering these comprehensive things. They cover herbicide, they cover burn pits, they cover radiation, they cover other issues. And the cost estimate is $206 billion. Oh, gee, we don't have the money for that. Well, we need to find the money for that. You know, there's a lot of things that we spend money on that are not tied to the Constitution. Taking care of the Army and the Navy and the Air Force is tied to the Constitution. And
Absolutely.
part of our job is to, push for that, both by going to Congress and by educating other folks. And if Congress won't do it, we'll just take it to court. And, that was our success with the Blue Water Navy. We hope it's going to be a pattern of success for the other issues as well.
I think this is a good cause, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to support. It's not like we're giving a gift to these veterans. These veterans signed up, they gave their time, they went in and served willingly. Every night that you go to bed, you sleep safe because we have our military people out keeping you safe. They give up their Christmases, their birthdays, the birth of their children. They give up so much, and they do it willingly. And they are willing to put down their lives to keep you safe. It's not a gift. It's a compensation for their work, which really, I don't even have an adjective to describe what they give us as American citizens. Anything else you want to add, John?
Please check us out. Our website is www.militaryveteransadvocacy.org. You can also follow us on Facebook, and you're welcome to join. You don't have to be a veteran to join. It's only $25 a year, I think, and we have life memberships available. We think we're doing a good job. Give you a chance to see the different things that we are doing, and continue to support us and follow us. Linda, I thank you so much for what you've done. I've read your book, our board's read your book, and we're promoting your book. It's the first and at this point only book that we are actually actively promoting. And
thank you.
You honored me by allowing me to write a foreword for the book, and it tells a story. It's a love story, but it also is a love story that ends in the tragedy, a self-inflicted tragedy that our country inflicted unintentionally on their military people. But now it's time for our country to step up.
It has to stop.
And it's time for our citizens to stop.
It's time to stop. And unless we shine a light on this atrocity that they're doing to our veterans, it won't stop. They'll just continue. It's almost pathetic the way my husband was just tossed out like yesterday's newspaper. And that shouldn't be. That should not be. So, well, I hope to see you again. Ladies, and gentlemen, I have other members of veterans, of this veterans group that will be interviewing with me. So tune in again, and we'll follow some more and find out some more information about this group. Again, it's all volunteer, except I guess now you have one paid employee.
One paid employee.
Yeah, that's remarkable. And all the information that I received from them, I didn't pay a nickel for. It was marvelous.